Okay. Ready to record. Start the countdown. Welcome to...
We have one of those now?
Yeah, no,
Yes.
I got it over here, a little stopwatch.
Oh, my bad.
Kind of great.
I'm like, we got a countdown now?
No, it's...
So I was waiting.
5, 4,
Right, exactly.
3. Yeah.
We have nerd liftoff.
We do. It's Nerd Radio. I can't imagine if I'm going to use that or not, but hey, here we go.
Well, now we have to.
Now I have to because
Yeah.
it's kind of great. It's Nerd Radio. Chuck Bean, Al Beck, James, all in the studio for another week in the Checkpoint XP studios, which are never, ever not nice. Always beautiful in here.
They're glamorous.
Absolutely. And boy, oh boy, do I got stuff for you guys this week.
We got stuff.
I got stuff.
Oh,
Good.
So,
it's better than last week because we had no stuff last week.
we had no stuff.
and we still did all right.
Yeah.
Because we're broadcast professionals here.
That's right.
Yes.
I
And
was
we
just-
set the bar solo.
Solo. Absolutely. We want you to be able to hop over it no matter how. You could be a one-legged man. We want you to be able to hop over that bar.
We had a 3-legged dog in the building today. I bet you that dog
Yeah.
could jump over the...
Yeah, Dave Kim
Yeah.
brought his dog in, I heard. I didn't get to see him,
from
but
the
yeah.
Michigan Humane Society.
Yeah.
What kind of dog is he?
It was a black lab.
Oh,
A 3-legged black lab.
I bet he's so happy.
Oh, dude, he was
Just,
a, he was
just
a
to
happy
be
little
alive,
dog.
just
Yeah.
to see people.
Yeah, happiest dog I've seen.
That's
He
awesome.
doesn't know he only has 3 legs.
No.
He doesn't realize there's a difference.
It's like have you seen the cats that are missing like their front legs and they run around like Tyrannosaurus Rexes?
Oh my God, no, that would be terrifying,
It's
but also kind
hilarious.
of cute.
Right, it's hilarious because they'll still like jump up on stuff. And you're like, you don't have any front legs. That seems very dangerous to jump up. And they don't care. That's just how they live.
They have a really good thigh. They never skip a leg day.
Never.
Yeah, right.
I'm
No.
trying to think of what muscle that was.
Well,
and
yeah,
I
it's
don't
like
know.
it's
I'm
like
not
the guys
educated
that
on-
do the sports in the wheelchairs, and they're just like,
Yeah, they're like
they're
ripped. Yeah.
ripped.
Don't arm wrestle those guys.
No, not at all.
Or get an HJ from those guys. That'd be a violent one.
Tear it right off. What? As always, I encourage you guys to download.
I'm going to make a
us.
note. Don't get an HJ from...
For wheelchair men.
Thanks. The real wheelchairman HJ.
As always, I encourage you guys to download, rate, and review us. We're on iTunes, we're on Spotify, we're on all the different podcast formats, and of course, we're on WRIF.com. Al Beck, where else are we?
We are at rock929rocks.com in Boston.
Yep, and if you're listening to the podcast and you got some time on a Wednesday afternoon, maybe tune into Twitch TV. Where are we there on, James?
We're at twitch.tv/checkpointxp.
Thank you guys so much. So I got some stuff for you here. We like to talk about a lot of stuff on Nerd Radio. We talk about video games. We talk about television. We talk about comics. Where do you guys want to start this week?
Oh, man. The choice is ours?
It's
It's like a choose your own adventure today?
It is. Yeah, I got some television stories for you. I got some video game stuff I did over the weekend, and there is some comic book news this week. So where do you want to start?
What are you feeling like, Al?
I'm feeling, how about some TV?
You want to talk about some TV?
Yeah.
TV time. Let's
Well-
talk TV.
Yeah, let's talk about the do you want to give me the big news thing?
Oh, Al! Big news!
Oh, my God. Wait, I don't actually know this time.
Well, you have to be, you're supposed to go, time now for big news.
Right.
You know, they'd be like, news that's big.
News that's big. Right,
Time
exactly.
now for news radio. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about.
News radio.
TV
We changed the
show.
name of the program?
We got it so together. So together.
I wasn't take
I think Al's been sniffing glue in the parking
Yeah, I
lot
think I just
before
was.
we recorded the show.
I was
and
honest.
now some big news on Nerd Radio.
I was
big news. News that's big.
See, that's all I was looking for. It's the news that's big jingle.
We
I
got to
love
just
that.
play the clip. We got to
Right.
just play the clip from now on.
There you go.
No. I didn't realize this was a thing. From now on.
From now on, you'll remember.
No, I won't remember. We're going to go through this pain in the ass every single
Every time.
I have to be reminded.
All right, so a minute later. Here's
What
some
are we
big
talking
news.
about? Video games?
Television. Television. Some big news in the television world. So before we started on Twitch, one of the episodes just before we started on Twitch, I revealed to you guys that I had never seen an episode of Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Ever. And I've started watching Seinfeld. I'm in season 2, somewhere in the middle of season 2 or something like that. And this week, it was released, I think on Monday, that Seinfeld is leaving Hulu to go to Netflix.
Yes.
Ooh,
Which-
changing teams.
Yeah, this happens. That's cool, whatever. But the thing that struck me that's really silly about this is they're leaving to go to Netflix in 2021.
So when I got to do the math. 3 years? 2 years?
Yeah, and, you know, we've got
19,
like
21,
2.5,
2 years.
yeah.
yeah, about 2.5 years. Why do you announce that in 2019?
So we can prepare to cancel our subscriptions to Hulu.
Yeah.
And also, seeing as that I'm watching it, and I watch like 3 or 4 episodes in a sitting, I'm going to be done with Seinfeld by the time it's on Netflix.
Well, yeah.
I've sat through all the Hulu commercials over the next 12 to 18 months.
Oh yeah, there you go. Maybe that's the bit. Do you have the dollar Hulu?
Right.
Are you sitting through commercials? Well, in 2.5 years.
If you want to wait, if you want to hold off for 2.5 years, you can watch Seinfeld with no commercials.
That is interesting. I didn't realize it wasn't until 2021.
Yeah.
Until I had heard this news, but I didn't realize that part of it. Obviously that's when how long Hulu has the contract.
That's when the contract expires.
And so they opened negotiations, and they must have just made the deal. So that's why they went ahead and announced it. But
right. But what is there anybody getting Hulu now?
I will have forgotten by then.
Right?
And yeah.
I think it's all smoke and mirrors. So Netflix is probably putting this out now. So that way people are like, oh my God, Seinfeld is on Netflix.
Yes.
I got to subscribe to Netflix.
Yeah,
Right.
probably.
Oh.
Yeah, well, actually,
Not till 2021. So
I think
now
James
need to
is
subscribe to
on
Hulu.
probably on the right.
They're trying to
path.
confuse everybody. It's
Right,
mass
especially-
confusion.
especially with Disney Plus launching, November? Something like that?
Yeah, coming up real soon.
Right.
So if they put stuff out, everybody's making big announcements. They all want to be part of the big announcement. It's there's fear of missing out that they're not talking about their streaming service, so they want to get some headlines, try to
Yeah,
get some
exactly.
publicity. So hey, let's let everybody know we got Seinfeld in 2027 or whatever.
Right. Does anyone have any interest in that NBC streaming service?
I was going to bring that up. The NBC's decided, CBS apparently has done well enough that they're like, well, we're going to do ours now. And part of it is that they're taking Parks and Rec off of Netflix and probably The Office so that they can put it on their service.
Yeah, I know for sure they're taking both of those.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the flagship, we talked a little bit about this morning on the Dave and Chuck the Freak show. The flagship show was going to be a Saved by the Bell reboot.
Yes.
I don't think that's going to be strong enough programming to get anybody to come over to NBC.
Even for you,
Not
James?
even you?
Not even for me. No. Okay.
No, not even for me.
Yeah. Now you tell me the first episode is going to have Kelly Kapowski in a very revealing outfit, doing dirty things. You might have my first month subscription.
Well, it's streaming.
James wants Saved by the Bell softcore porn is what he's looking
Yes.
for.
Yes. In a nutshell, that would be that's a dream come true.
They made that.
A
It's-
nutshell, no pun intended.
They made that. It's called Showgirls, and it's awful.
No, Showgirls ain't got nothing on Kelly Kapowski, head cheerleader. Not that Jesse Spano, that pill popping addict who's so excited, so
She's so
excited.
excited.
She's so scared.
So excited.
Yeah. Zach Morris has to go help save her, help get her off the pill
No,
addiction.
I absolutely wanted
Get
to
her
bring that up
rehab.
because I tagged you when I saw the thing. I was like, well, you're the biggest Saved by the Bell fan I know. Well, how about if there's all the old Saved by the Bell's got to be on there eventually, of course.
I would maybe consider it if all the old episodes are there. I can binge
Right.
watch all
You
the
can
episodes.
binge watch some of that stuff.
I think I already own them on DVD though. So
Do you really?
yeah, I mean it'll save me the trip to get up and put the disc in the Blu-ray
Yeah,
player.
well,
It's funny you say that because I do find that I do watch MASH more because it's on Hulu right now.
Yeah.
Like I have them all on DVD and I still watch them way more than anyone should on DVD, but because it's there on Hulu, I watch it constantly.
It's the convenience of just
It's
being
the
able
convenience.
to
Yep.
click.
Because
boom.
it's something that I'll put on if I'm cleaning my apartment or even going cooking dinner or something. I'll just put it on the background and it's background noise. I'm not actually watching it or I'll fall asleep to it.
Yep.
But because it's so readily available, I watch it way more. That was on Netflix for a little while. They took it down and it
MASH.
ended up on ended up on Hulu. But it's a Fox property and Disney owns Fox and they own Hulu, so
Right,
it might
so
stick
it's
around there.
MASH might end up on Disney Plus.
It could. It could.
Eventually, you would think. I don't know. They definitely seem to be trying to make sure they don't just pillage Hulu for all the good stuff. They're trying to. It seems like they're trying to make sure that Hulu has enough that people will still want it.
Right. That's
As
why they're
well.
bundling it.
Right, with the Disney Plus stuff. So there's going to be.
Oh, that's right, because
specific things.
Disney technically owns Hulu.
Right.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. 'Cause
Yeah.
I was going to say, well, Hulu's probably trying
That's
to keep
where
some
they
of
had
their
that.
properties.
They had that bundle where it was Hulu, Disney Plus, and ESPN Plus or whatever. But on the NBC thing, we were talking about this also this morning on Dave and Chuck the Freak that they're going to be rebooting again Battlestar Galactica.
Sure.
For the NBC
Yep.
streaming service.
Well, they did so well with it in the early 2000s when
Yeah.
they rebooted it. So.
and I've seen more of the original Battlestar. I haven't seen the entire thing, which is pathetic because it's only one season. The fact that I've never seen the whole thing.
Like the whole original? Or
Yeah, the
whole
original
reboot?
one was just one season.
Really? Was that how short it was?
Yeah.
Wasn't Star Trek only one season?
3.
Oh, sorry.
They did a follow-up in the 80s for Battlestar, so there was like another follow-up. But yeah, no, the original series was only one season long. It's 24 episodes or whatever.
Huh.
And then they reboot it on, was it Sci-Fi? I can't remember.
Yes, it was on the Sci-Fi Channel.
But then so they rebooted it. That did a number of years. And I heard nothing but good things. I know Steve Black host of
when it was
Sound of with Ann Carlini.
When it was on TV, when it was into like the second or third season, I had a friend of mine that was like, "This is the coolest thing on TV," and I tried watching it, but it was already so deep in.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's going on. Like, it's cool, but I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, my girlfriend really enjoyed it. She was trying to turn me on to it because I think I had questions. I think the main female character from the reboot was like a fantasy of somebody on The Big Bang Theory, and I'm like, I don't know who this chick is. And then she explained it to me, and then we started watching a couple episodes.
Katie Sackhoff, that's the actress. She plays Starbuck or whatever. Yeah.
Starbuck?
Or whatever.
That was her name, Starbuck.
Starbuck? Like the coffee joint?
Like the coffee, yes.
Oh, okay.
That existed in the 70s before the coffee joint did. So.
Starbuck's a character from Moby Dick.
What?
Yes.
Is that why there's like a little mermaid thing as the Starbucks logo?
Could be.
Does it have something to do with Moby Dick story?
Yeah, but he was like the first officer to Captain Ahab, Starbuck. So that's where Starbucks got the name, was the Moby Dick character.
And here you see the dichotomy of Nerd Radio. Al actually knows stuff about books.
Dude, like literally,
the
more you know.
Dude. Yep. Hang on. I don't know about a book. I know about a movie that starred Captain Picard as Captain Ahab. Patrick Stewart did a Moby Dick movie.
I didn't know that
And actually,
either.
the guy in that movie, the guy who plays Buffalo Bill on Silence of the Lambs, he's Starbuck.
He's Starbuck?
He's Starbuck.
What?
Buffalo Bill.
Buffalo Bill is Starbuck.
What
in
a
the Moby Dick
multi-talented
movie.
actor, man.
Yes.
He can be a psycho.
It puts the
serial
lotion
killer.
on its skin, Captain Picard.
Would you harpoon me? I'd harpoon me.
Did you guys? I'm sure you guys talked
I
about
harpoon
this.
you so hard.
I'm sure you guys talked about this in the morning show too. What the NBC Universal thing is called?
Yes.
Did
Who
we?
wants to do
forgot.
the honors?
NBC Universal streaming service is called Peacock. Yep, Peacock. Because
So
you know
dumb.
the NBC Universal. It's the,
Yeah,
it's
it's
the
I get it.
Peacock.
It's
I
the
got it.
logo and everything, but like that's so dumb. I will not. They could reboot MASH and I wouldn't sign up for that.
Hey, did you renew your subscription to the Peacock Network?
No, I'm sticking with Pornhub. Thanks. Every time I watch something on Pornhub, they plant a tree. I feel like I'm doing something for the environment.
That is a great humanitarian effort that they're
Yeah,
participating in.
Yeah.
I don't know about you. There have been a couple of times where like I look through my bookmarks of porn and be like, well, every time I go on Pornhub, I'm doing something for the environment. So I mean, you know.
Well, they got to plant all those trees to replace all the tissues that I'm using to clean up when I'm done using Pornhub.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah, no, I'm not interested at all
No.
in NBC in the Peacock. I'm not going to be peacocking anything, but
No peacocks for Al.
no, that's
He just wants big fat ones. Get those peas out of here.
I know.
I love me
get
some
the peas out of
I
here.
love some peas and carrots.
Yeah, no, I mean, honestly, I was in zero interest in CBS even, but
Until they gave you Star Trek.
Well, yeah, and even then, if you remember, I drew the line in the sand. I was like, "There's too many of these things. I don't want another one. I'm not doing it." And it was like a week out, and I realized I was going to miss Star Trek, and I panicked. But it took. I mean,
I'm sorry, I'm laughing because you bopped the microphone.
I know.
while you were talking.
But it took.
I was laughing about the Star Trek
Right,
reaction.
right.
I panicked. He had a Star Trek panic.
But it really was pathetic. I'm like, oh my God, there's a new Star Trek, and I can't watch it.
Yes.
And I honestly could have waited a year and just bought it on Blu-ray,
Right.
which I did anyway because this is so sad. I have all of Star Trek as a hard copy, which James I think would appreciate that because he's
Absolutely.
an
You don't
advocate
wanna-
of that.
Yeah, all the digital stuff they get taken away. I've already
It
got
does.
burned by
Yeah.
an album on
Now,
iTunes.
do I watch any of it? No, I typically stick with Netflix or CBS All Access when I watch Star Trek, but it is there. And everything available on Blu-ray, I have the Blu-ray version. So basically everything except for Deep Space Nine and Voyager, those are DVDs. But
Right.
I
In
have
the
all
event
of
of
them.
an apocalypse, you are prepared with tons of nerdy entertainment.
As long as I've got a nuclear power plant to fire up my Blu-ray player.
Well, while I'm watching Seinfeld, you've been telling me that you're going back and watching different series of Star Trek. Didn't you just get done with, what was it, Deep Space Nine?
Yeah, so we have talked about this on the show, but it hasn't come up in a while. I started years ago a Star Trek pilgrimage, is what I call it. But I wanted to watch every episode of Star Trek in sequence from the original debunked, thrown out the cage, the original pilot that didn't make it on the air, and then go all the way through up, I guess now, Discovery, Picard, or whatever. And I'm on Voyager now. And it takes me a while because sometimes I will actually go through phases where I'm like, I might not watch it for 2 months at all. But I also do love Star Trek.
And
so there's times where I'm like, well, I'm on Deep Space Nine, but man, I really want to see that episode of Next Gen, so I'll go back.
I was going to say you do backtrack into like, no, I want to watch his favorite.
Yeah, I don't watch anything unless I've finished the series. Like now that I've finished DS9, I can go back and watch that. So I've actually been putting that on at night sometimes.
Yeah.
And falling asleep to it. This is how sad my life is. But I had like 5 episodes.
Deep Space Nine to tuck him into bed like a little nighttime lullaby.
Right.
If I get some insomnia, I'll pull up the WWE Network. I like to fall asleep to Jim Ross and Jerry Lawler yelling about wrestlers.
You know what I would fall asleep to?
What's that?
I would bring up. They had some of those reality shows, the House.
Oh yeah, the Legends House and stuff.
Yeah, they had like Mean Gene and a bunch of wrestlers that I don't know if any of them are even still alive anymore.
Yeah, that's probably a good. Hacksaw Jim Duggan, I think, was part of it.
That's how I feel when I watch MASH. On any given scene,
sure,
dead, yeah. Hanging in there. Come on, Alan Alda.
I know it's kind of amazing we've still got Alan Alda.
I know.
On this planet.
The last time I saw him do an interview, he looked kind of rough.
Yeah, right.
But I mean, he's getting.
Well, the last time I saw Harrison Ford do an interview, I was like, how did they get Han Solo out of that guy?
Yeah. Hollywood movie magic.
He doesn't look like he even knows where he is when he's awake.
I don't know how they allow him to fly airplanes still. That's why he keeps crashing them. Man doesn't know what he's doing anymore.
Harrison Ford just keeps crashing. Got another one.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they look at each other like, are you going to tell the guy who flew the Millennium Falcon
that he can't fly an airplane?
Tell the guy that did the Kessel Run that he can't fly this airplane? Come on.
I'll be the one to do it because, come on, it's a fictional story, Harrison Ford. You can't actually fly a spaceship.
Punch it.
Yeah, well, we were talking. That's what I wanted to ask you with the CBS All Access when you said that you drew the line. Exactly how did you draw that line?
With crayons on a napkin at the local Coney Island.
Yeah, exactly. It was the kids' menu.
Was there some passion to it? Did you perhaps quote something where a line was drawn?
Oh, the line must be drawn here. This far, no farther.
There it is.
Trying to set you up for a Star Trek.
Yeah,
you almost missed it.
I was wondering if he'd know it right off the bat.
No,
or if how much I'd have to prod.
lead me down the line. But it's funny that you mentioned that. So, before my pilgrimage, I've seen already most of Star Trek.
Sure.
But like Deep Space Nine, I don't think I had ever seen any of it until I started watching it during my little pilgrimage here. So I had never seen the end, and it's like the last episode or second to last episode. Quark, the Ferengi who runs the bar, uses that line. I can't remember the context exactly, but like he just kind of throws it in there and he just says the line must be drawn here. He doesn't give it quite the same delivery as a Patrick Stewart,
right?
But it must have been right around the same time that First Contact came out, the movie,
right?
So like he totally references the Picard line. It's pretty awesome. Armin Shimmerman
of all characters too, like
Quark,
he's not one of the more serious characters.
Yeah, I wish I could remember the context, but I was sitting there watching. I was like, that's awesome. I seriously watched like 15 episodes of Star Trek over the weekend. Even for me, it was a bit much.
Wow.
Because I finished the last 5 of Deep Space Nine. Then I was all excited I can start Voyager, so I watched like 10 of those episodes.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I had nothing to do.
Well, I know that you texted me on Friday, too. We were talking last week about Pluto.tv or the Pluto TV app. What are you laughing at?
I don't know. My weekend, I feel real sad right now. I feel like
you shouldn't.
Bring the checkpoint guys in here. Let's turn this into an intervention. I need it.
I don't think they're going to help. I think they're going to be just
someone give me a box of tissues and a hug. I need it.
I don't know if you can intervene in somebody just having a sad life at all. Like, usually you have to intervene with some sort of an addiction. Just having a sad state of affairs. I don't think we can really do much. Maybe recommend counseling or something.
One of my friends, we can't help you.
We all still love you, Al.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely. We all love you. I don't know that we can actually help you.
We can't help you. You're beyond help. But yeah, no, go ahead. Pluto TV.
Yeah, I was going to mention that, but actually I'm looking at the time and I was like, time to move, time at next thing. So we'll talk about that next week, I guess. The one thing I did want to bring up, I told Al about this when I saw it on Monday. There's a story I read on, I believe it was on Deadline, that one of the guys who used to write for The Onion, I think it was, did a treatment for a 9/11 episode of Seinfeld.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Yeah, were telling me about this.
Yeah, it's as somebody who's kind of knee deep in the second season of Seinfeld right now. I had to read it. I had to know, and he kind of nailed it.
Really?
Yeah, like the tone of it is like I could totally see.
And
this.
It's so horrible too. Like all the scenarios.
All the scenarios for each of the characters are so dark, and so like. That is it. Like it's Always Sunny is essentially the new version of Seinfeld. I've discovered as I watch more of it. Like Seinfeld is just like 4 people that are just awful and seeing awful things happen to them because they're bad people. And It's Always Sunny is like that with more slapstick and just like I think I might like It's Always Sunny better. But
they do talk about I don't know if it was Larry David or somebody else talking about the end of Seinfeld and kind of defending it. There's a spoiler alert for anyone who, unless you want me to hold off on the end of Seinfeld.
Go ahead.
The end of Seinfeld, obviously, they end up in a jail cell. And there's just character witness after character witness. It's a giant clip show, but it's a character witness after character witness just displaying all these horrible things that these people have done.
Sure.
And so when they're like, really, that's the end of the series? They're all in jail? And they're like, these are terrible people. Like, why are you defending them? Like,
right.
They're selfish. I mean, they're awful. They suck. These people suck.
Right.
And they really are. The difference, though, is like It's Always Sunny are the worst people, but they don't pretend that they're not.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. There's no illusions whatsoever.
When bad things happen to them, you don't feel, you just laugh at them.
Yeah.
You know.
You just opened my eyes to realize that they are very bad people.
They are.
So I never was like, hey, these are bad guys. I was always like, yeah, these are just some regular dudes that like to do funny things, but they're actually very terrible
pretty
people.
terrible. They're pretty awful.
I just watched the episode with the Chinese restaurant.
Yeah.
Where they keep getting told 10 minutes and Jerry bets Elaine $50 that she won't walk in there and just eat food off somebody's plate.
For $50, I'd stick my face in their soup and blow.
Right. Like, oh, for God's sake. All right, well, we're going to come back with some more Nerd Radio, so make sure you stay tuned. Make sure you follow us on social media at Nerd Radio 101.